talking about Bitcoin, yeah, I have a Coinbase account, so I'm DCAing, by the way, first time in 6 years. I bought Bitcoin 6 years ago. It was maybe 3% of my net asset value. Today, because it's gone up so much, that it's up to maybe 12%. I am not a trader of Bitcoin. I don't want to trade Bitcoin. I trade the surrogates or the proxies of Bitcoin, such as MicroStrategy and the 2x ETFs. I have always said that Bitcoin is to be bought and held, right? So now I started DCAing again every Monday. I'm putting in $100 through Coinbase into Bitcoin, whatever the price is at. So Monday, if the price is at 108, I'm going to buy more at 108. That's it. I think last week I bought it as low as 92. So whatever Monday morning at 5:30 I wake up, have a cup of coffee, click, $100 worth goes into Coinbase. And by Coinbase, you know how when you guys watching some infomercials, they go, no credit, no problem, and all that stuff, right? They're selling the used cars to you. Well, there is something new happening now. If you happen to have Bitcoin, you guys can now get loans against your Bitcoin through Coinbase without a credit check. Now, I do believe that MicroStrategy is going to be a bank one day, without a question in my mind, right? They have they have bought 450,000 Bitcoin so far. I think there's going to be so many products that are going to come out over the next few years that are based on Bitcoin that we're going to, our heads are going to spin. But Coinbase has taken the lead, and Coinbase is saying that we're offering loans against your Bitcoin. Should you get one? Well, okay, how does borrowing against Bitcoin work on Coinbase? While using the service, Coinbase's US clients only, except those who live in New York State, can pledge their Bitcoin to borrow up to $100,000 in USDC, which is US dollar currency, using the company's app. Unlike a regular loan from a financial services company, where you have to go through credit check, your income, you have to give them a whole bunch of documents, right? Your W-2s and all these things. Your ability to borrow in this case is linked to how much Bitcoin you have to offer as collateral instead of your credit score or credit worthiness. There's going to be so many products. I take my word for it, but then come back in a couple of years if I'm still around, say, oh, that guy said that, by the way. Your interest rate will depend on the going market rate, okay? They're probably going to put maybe 100 basis points or maybe 150 basis points on something, just like margin rates at brokerage houses, right? And will be visible to you when you're making the loan transaction. There are no required due dates or fixed monthly payments, and you can choose to repay the loan entirely or partially without any prepayment penalty, right? So this, I think, is pretty revolutionary to me, right? I mean, some of you may say this is like going to a pawn shop. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. That's kind of the analogy I thought when I was getting ready for the show. I go, yeah, you go put up your gold, and then they give you 50% of your gold. Well, in this case, I haven't looked into it, but there's something called LTV, loan to value, right? What percentage is that going to be at? So if you have, let's say, $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, how much of that 100,000 will you be able to borrow? I'm sure it's not going to be dollar for dollar without a question. Is it 50%? Is it 60%? Because as we know, Bitcoin is very volatile. Well, actually, the volatility is subsiding on Bitcoin pretty well. We're moving maybe 10, 12% up or down now on the corrections anyway. But please go pay attention to that M2 global supply, money supply. But I don't know what the LTV is going to be on these loans. The fact that it doesn't have a duration, the fact that you don't have to make any payments and you can pay it all at once or you can pay it partially, these are amazing, amazing things, right? So let's say you're holding Bitcoin and you want to buy a house. You don't have available cash. You go borrow some money and then you buy a house with that cash. I mean, I don't know. Look, I think there's going to be so many new products offered. I'm pretty sure there's going to be Bitcoin backed commercial loans. It's going to be a fascinating few years, and all because Michael Saylor, he figured out the infinite money glitch. A lot of people think he's crazy. He's a gambler. I think he's a genius. And so yeah, Coinbase started the move. I bet you guys anything within a month or so, Robinhood is going to come around, and all these other exchanges who are holding your Bitcoin uh, as their as a custodian are going to offer you these products, and there's going to be many, many more different products that are coming up. And I mean, I think it's wonderful. I mean, I don't see anything bad with it. Now, I wouldn't do this with the shit coins, right? I wouldn't do it with like altcoins. But Bitcoin, yeah, definitely. I think there's going to be so much product, and I think Michael Saylor through MicroStrategy is going to lead this. MicroStrategy today is a software company. I'm pretty sure it's going to look very different in a few years, very different. And they're going to offer a lot of different products backed by Bitcoin.